I made one rule, and it's that after I press record, I wouldn't stop the video until I felt that I had said everything that I wanted to say. And after I'm finished, I won't edit or review this video. I'll just post it. And because it's not a video for anyone else but myself. Anyone else who's watching is more than welcome to, invited to join for this journey. And I have to shake off a little bit of this feeling of like sitting in front of an audience, because the most important audience right now is myself. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I signed a contract to myself a couple of days ago, and I'm embarking upon a journey in the next 12 weeks. I picked up The Artist's Way, and I'd heard about it from a couple of videos, and I actually didn't know anything about this book before Instagram recommended it to me I think 2 weeks ago. I saw a reel about it and also just scrolled very quickly. I think it was something like, I'm embarking on the 12-week Artist's Way, so you don't have to, and this is what I've learned. Here's a summary. But I'm definitely somebody who likes to do things, try things out myself, and recognize that I'm at a point in my journey as an artist and my recovery as an artist from 4 years of writer's block, followed by a year of health challenges. And since about 6 months, I've been shifting and refocusing on stabilizing myself and building myself up again as an artist. And this first video is just about checking in, like with where I am right now. So I've read the first chapter, right? It's by Julia Cameron, and apparently it's a life-changing book. I'm also inspired to do this because Dochi also embarked upon the Artist's Way, upon this journey, and things really changed for her after that. And my desire is for the same kind of clarity about who I am as a person and as an artist, and to really strengthen the connection between the creator in me with God, with the great creator. And so I read the first chapter, the introduction, and then the introduction and then the first chapter. And today was my first day. Oh, they're over here. Today was my first day doing the morning pages, which is basically like every morning, wake up, and the first thing you do, I didn't even brush my teeth. Like before doing this, I just splashed some water on my face and made a tea real quick. And it's all about just doing a three-page free write as soon as you wake up. And it's free form. There's no prompt. It's just whatever is flowing. And I'm not reading it afterwards. So I just write it, turn the page, and every morning wake up like this. Today I had my first session, and I recognized like immediately just this click inside of me. I've been spending a lot of time like writing things digitally and making like captions and things for short form content, and recognize that even though I've been getting back into writing poetry, I recognize that it's been a little bit forced to fit into a certain format, and I'm missing still this connection of like writing on paper because it flows in a totally different way. And I have another thing actually. Just double check that this is recording. Yes. I don't know how long this is going to be, if it's going to be 10 minutes or 20 or 30, but I thought about making a timer, setting a timer, and then I recognized, no, just speak as long as I need to, and when I feel like I'm done, then I will conclude. So this is my current songwriting journal. Behind me there's a cupboard full of books, full of journals that I've kept over the last 15 years. And there's poetry, creative nonfiction, songs, journal entries, and it's pretty cliche because I just read about this in the Artist Way, like another person who had a similar experience where they'd written so much and just like locked everything away in a closet for no one else to read. And even I'll come back to this journal, but I had a goal like 2 years ago. I think I wanted to just compile everything and publish a poetry book. And that dream, just like so many other things that I've started in my life but haven't finished, like my master's degree, like my English as a second language, a certification course, like there are so many things that I've started in my life but haven't finished, and even that is like negative self-talk, and I'm in the process of shifting that into a positive affirmation, but it's also just very honest. And I have a lot of these journals that I've started, and I wanted to publish a poetry book, and I still want to do this, and I will do this. I don't know when, but I really need this intervention right now. I'll come back to that. This is my current songwriting book, and it's like, it's such a mess, and I love it that way. There are snippets of, like, during my studio sessions, pages that have been ripped out, folded up so that I could just hold a little thing and hold a little paper in front of me um, while singing into the mic, and songs in progress. Like, actually, I think it would be a really cool idea. Yeah, let's say a cool idea to have some, to eventually, I have so many ideas to have a creative lyric book that comes with the eventually physical copies of the EP and or mixtape or albums that I do in the future. And I want to incorporate some of these texts. What I've done in the past often, like the same with set list, is I would have a rough draft and then I would crumble it up, throw it away, and then just keep the clean version of it. But I'm not doing that anymore. I'm keeping the dirty drafts. And the thing that I like about morning pages so far, after the experience today, it took me about, I think it was about a half an hour to sit down and just write with no pressure. I could take a break if I wanted to. The thing I really like is that it's, as I'm laying in bed, waking up in the morning, I'm already having like so many rushing thoughts. I've always had this, for a long time, have had anxiety and like this rushing sense and this feeling of like pressure and gotta blah, 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 and sometimes that manifests in being like very hyperactive and organized and having a million things going on at once. And I'm like a very excellent project manager, and I've had positions and work experience where I've had to create a concept and develop a timeline, and also like delegate in a leadership position and have a team around me, and work together collectively with other people to make a concept come to life. And it's so ironic because I have all of these skills, but when it comes to my own creative projects, I really have a commitment problem. I'll figure out how to spin that into a positive thing, but my ideas and impulses come in abundance. And before I complete one thing, I already move on to like the next idea because I'm excited about it. But what happens is then in the end, I just have a heap of like projects I've started and things I've begun. Um, and right now, the biggest project that I'm working on is my EP. And the funny thing about my EP is that it's something that I've wanted to publish for 5 years, since 2020. Now it's 26. Yeah, 6 years. And in 2020, I'd been living in Germany for 2 years. I moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Leipzig, Germany to study at the time. And 2020 was the first year that I went back to visit my family. And I came back to Germany about a month before COVID lockdown started. And so the timing was great, because if I hadn't been trapped in the US, things would have turned out very differently for me. Or at least my path would have developed in a different way. But before, like when I was visiting, I had set up a tour in Ohio, and I was playing gigs and also facilitating women's circles. And at that time, I was into cacao ceremonies. I've had a lot of reflections about like that in itself. It's maybe doesn't fit here right now. Maybe I'll come back to it. But what I learned from that experience is that I have this gift of facilitating circles and like bridging the gap from 2020 to now, and from like these women's circles, cacao ceremonies, also mixed circles, like sound journey experiences, which I'm still doing today and have gotten back into today, is that I have this gift of facilitating groups and holding group spaces. I've seen this gift as a teacher for 3 years in a high school, and as a pedagogic caretaker in youth programs and after school workshops and courses, is that I've really been cultivating over the years this ability, which is it's the same gift when I'm on a stage and have a crowd in front of me. It's this gift of holding space. And I believe that gift is infinite, that whether it's 5 people, kids, adults, or 20, or 2,000, or 200,000, that I really have this ability to hold emotional space. And it also takes a lot of effort and energy, and I'm still finding ways after, like to like return to a homeostasis after all that holding space. And mostly that just involves a lot of silence, and even removing myself like from a group, so then needing to be isolated and in silence. Where am I right now in my artist journey? And why am I even starting this artist way journey right now? So I had a kind of eureka moment last October. I spent the better part of last year home on sick leave. Now I have clarity. I don't want to share it now, but I think I will and I should. I have clarity about what's going on with my body and what's led to all of this exhaustion and brain fog and breathing challenges and other symptoms that really like took me out of the game and led to me having to leave my teaching position and going into a seemingly precarious period of my life. Thankfully, living in Germany, like financially, everything has been okay. And thank God for that structure and for social systems that also work in that way. That after, regardless of the fact that I like toiled and overexerted myself for years and also contributed to this system that also is now supporting me, regardless of that fact, I still do believe that it's a right, a human right, especially in so-called developed countries, that where there's an abundance of wealth and resources, that when someone is not able in the moment to hold themselves, especially when they've held for a long time, that they can and will be held. And so I'm very thankful that the 50% of my income that I paid toward insurance is now also serving me, and that I can take some more time, and I need to. Right. So in October, I had this eureka moment after like, I think it was like from February, right? So 8 months of living in a pretty dark phase and not having any idea like what's going on with my health, what's causing all these challenges. I had this problem with my wrist. I still have pain, but I can play again, play instruments again. But I couldn't play guitar for months. I couldn't sing because of this pressure in my chest and breathing problems for months. And so I was effectively stuck at home and also going through like depression, which I totally think anybody, no, I'll say it in a different way. It makes sense that that was also the result of like losing my dream job in the time, or what I thought was my dream job, dream job, my dream job, my dream job. It was a position that I really worked hard for, and I finally felt like, oh, I'm building up a career, and I had to leave. My body just was like full stop. And the warning signs had been there already for a couple of years. But yeah, it was like full stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And then in October, I had this eureka moment where I had been able to play guitar again for a couple of months. Like it came back to me, I'd been playing. And I figured out a way that I could get back into playing music and performing, if not only for my mental health, but also because I just really missed it so much. And I have a setup now where I can re-enter the workforce through my music and through my self-employment. And it's really an ideal situation because my body is not ready yet to fully engage, and I really need a complete shift in my relationship to work. And there was a eureka moment in October where I recognized, like, wow, it's really the moment where I have finally the peace and the space and the opportunity to invest in myself as an artist and to let go of this idea that it's just like a hobby, it's just a thing on the side. Like, I had been so proud for those 3 years. I was like, I'm a teacher, I'm also a musician on the side, or I also perform sometimes. But I was so much more proud about being a teacher because it's like it's so much more socially praised, especially in Germany. I don't. It's maybe it's a little bit different in the U.S., but generally, being a teacher, being a mentor, being a someone who's in the position of guidance or a counselor or coach, like these are things generally viewed positively in societies, and I was so proud, and my grandma was proud of me. My mom, she supports me through anything that I do. She was very proud of me. And I had been getting this feedback from people around me, like, who were very impressed that I'd become a teacher and that I also landed this position without studying education, that I had an unconventional background that led me to working with kids, getting building up all this pedagogic experience through first being a musician and then working with kids in nonprofit organizations. And so I was so proud of this new label, and I was like, and I was earning really well, and I moved into this new apartment, and like things were going really well. And then it was like, bah! My whole body just was like, I cannot go on any longer. Now I understand why. And I know that it wasn't just a burnout, but I know that that definitely inspired such a drastic shift. And right in October, so there was this moment of like, well, why not now? And then I spent like a week sitting on the floor, like right there, and then on the couch, and on the floor, and the couch, and I was on my computer. And I didn't have a work laptop. I didn't have a laptop for a couple of months because I had my work laptop for years through 2 different positions. And then a friend of mine gave me a laptop. And so I was like, finally, I was back online, you know? and spent months also like not really on Instagram. I wasn't posting anything. I also was my circle became really small. So like only very, very close people to me and friends who became really good friends were visiting me at home. Like it was just a handful of people who I was interacting with. Otherwise, I was just really not responding to calls. I was talking to my family, but really my circle became so much smaller. And I just want to double check. I think it's still recording. Yes, sir. And it was also a sneaky way to see how long I've been talking. Girl. Okay. So I was on the floor and the couch on the floor, and I was doing this research and looking within myself, and I had this recognition. I was like, moving forward, I have to change my name. I didn't have the name at first, but I knew that I needed to embrace this like shift. There was just this recognition of like, wow, I can actually do this. And even though I was like laying here exhausted, kind of like half dead, you know, my power of my voice hadn't fully returned, but it had been returning. It was it had been returning. It was the process of returning, and even like my what do you call this? My dexterity was still coming back to me. So I'd been playing guitar in a very simple way, but in the last couple of months, like my dexterity has really returned. And I was sitting here and I had like I pulled a couple of all-nighters, and I was up all night and then I was sleeping during the day. And I did this for about a week, and I was on the computer like so long, and I was in this process of rebranding and recognizing like I need to do things differently moving forward. And then these names started to come to me, and I would have to like check again what the process was like, but eventually I came to this name of RevivaLiz. And this was um, some months after my baptism. Last year was also all about reconnecting to faith and this revival of faith and belief and a sense of connection to the divine, and naming also the divine and figuring out like what the path actually is for me moving forward. And this name RevivaLiz came to me because I'd been performing under my name Liz Weems for so long, and I knew that was it was even I love my name. I love my full name, Elizabeth, however, Liz. And I noticed that I needed an artist name, and this came to me, and it still incorporates my name, but is my way of honoring that I've somehow been reborn, and everything that comes moving forward is going to be somehow new and a part of that process of renewal, rebirth, and revival. There are more layers to this name, and piece by piece I'll peel them back. But I have so many notebooks, and just to share what I'm going to be working on the next week. I really do, and now like wherever I go, I have to have. I'll be carrying these with me. So this is my stack, and I'm such a book nerd. Like I've always loved to write. I've always loved to read, and also thankfully I grew up in a home where my mom was always reading in front of me. She told me also like the same with her mother and the same with her mother. So I come from a line of readers. My father is also a writer and was always writing, and I come from a family of nerds actually. And so this is my stack, and I have the book in itself, The Artist's Way. I did pick this up, but honestly I don't think it's totally necessary. I think it would be something that I should gift to someone else. It's the workbook, which is basically it has the tasks, but just they have it's a different introduction. I haven't read that yet, but basically there are each of the tasks and they have their own page. Theoretically I could work in the workbook, but I need it to be somehow external. and I think I will give this to someone else. But instead of using this workbook, I have this block, and just for each week, I have like the different tasks. And basically, what this requires of me is every morning setting aside about an hour of time before I do anything, before I even took a shower, before, like I said, I brush my teeth after, which is rare for me. I'm usually like a get up and brush kind of person. But I just wanted to make sure I didn't tidy up, I didn't do anything. I just made a tea. I haven't even I'm about to have brunch, but I just felt like I feel so thrilled about this, and at the same time, like I have so much respect for the process that I'm already in and that is awaiting me, because there are some hard things already coming up. So part of this week is going to be writing creative affirmations, but also like converting blurts and this like negative self-talk into positive affirmations. I don't know. I'm not ready to share these yet, but in the check-in next week I will. Oh, right. So that's my goal, is to make one video per week, along with my own check-in. And this will be a sort of diary, so that in the future I can look back and see week for week how things have changed. And I feel like this is really going to make an impact. I don't know how, but I really believe like God is going to be already is doing some great things. So yeah, I picked 5 tasks. So the point is not to overwhelm, like this also a thing is not to overwhelm myself with a bunch of work right now, but somehow to like busy work, but to focus on the deep transformative work that's taking place. So part of that is about like writing affirmations, and I'm going to hang these, and just some of them that really resonate with me are um, there is a divine plan of goodness for me. My creativity always leads me to truth and love. Through the use of my creativity, I serve God. As I create and listen, I will be led. Creativity is God's gift to me, and using it is a gift back to God. So just like I have other affirmations taped to my bathroom mirror, these are going up as well. And the idea is like to do the morning pages as soon as I get up, to read these affirmations, and then to practice whatever the task is at hand in my task book, my workbook. Morning pages. I'm somebody who needs structure, and I need organization. And then I just have a planner to help me keep track of like what I'm doing each week. And yeah, there was some other thought that I wanted to say, right? And then the artist dates are also a part of this, which is something that I generally have incorporated. Like I love solo dates. I love dates also with other people. I really love solo dates. And the idea is to go on an artist date every week, and whatever that may be. It's also about reflecting on what that means, reflecting on what that like does with me, and the experience in itself. And it's about taking my inner artist out on a date, and recognizing that my inner artist is also similar to inner child. So it's like going and taking yourself out like a parent date, going out with your inner child, your little inner artist, and seeking inspiration. So like filling the cup back up, and the morning pages are about the output. So okay, I feel done, and I feel like that's enough. And I'm really looking forward to what's going to come out of this. I'm not afraid. I do have a lot of respect, because I already I feel this churning inside of me. And I feel like this is going to be really a miraculous process, and exactly what I need right now. So, yeah, I've said all that I'd like to say. Oh, that didn't even stop it.